Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I am so thrilled you're tuning in because we are unpacking some truly fascinating and honestly, absolutely crucial source material today. We've all had that one relationship that leaves us inexplicably exhausted, right? And what do? We usually just blame it on not having enough coffee. Well, today's material completely challenges that. We're looking at a pretty profound concept here. The idea that not every single person who walks into your life is just there by chance or even sent by God. Some folks are there to test you, some to teach you, but some, well, if you aren't paying close attention, they are strategically sent to dismantle the very thing the enemy fears most in you, your peace. So we're going to explore the 7 warning signs that someone in your life might actually be an assignment meant to disrupt your spiritual flourishing. Let's get into it.
Take a second and honestly reflect on your own relationships right now. Is there someone in your life who seems to be actively working against your peace? A lot of the time we just brush it off, thinking, oh, people just have bad days, or we just have clashing personalities. But the source material we're breaking down today pushes us to look a little deeper and asks us to consider a tough question. Are certain individuals actually positioned in our lives specifically to drain us?
Okay, let's dive into this. To really grasp this concept, we first need to completely redefine a word we throw around all the time: peace. Peace is not passive. It's not just sitting in a quiet room or successfully avoiding an argument. According to the text we're analyzing, in the life of a believer, peace is actually a weapon. It is the necessary spiritual condition for you to hear God clearly, to make wise decisions, and to step fully into your purpose. The enemy knows this, which is exactly why people are assigned to systematically dismantle it.
Section 1. Atmospheric and emotional depletion. And that brings us to warning sign number 1. Think about the stark contrast in your own energy levels. Before interacting with this particular person, you feel settled, clear, and energized. But afterward, you don't feel refreshed, you don't feel encouraged, you feel completely hollowed out, carrying this heavy residue that literally was not there before. And the crazy thing is, you might not even be able to pinpoint a specific thing they said, but the pattern is undeniable. Every single visit ends with an invisible heaviness.
Proverbs 13:20 brilliantly validates that exact feeling. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. The explainer text points out something really crucial here. Harm does not have to be dramatic, it doesn't have to be loud, and it doesn't even require a visible wound. A person who consistently leaves your spirit more depleted than they found it is inflicting a slow, subtle harm that just accumulates over time. Basically, they are an enemy stationed right near your source of strength.
Which leads right into this incredibly powerful concept from Colossians 3:15, which talks about letting the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Now here's the fascinating part. The original meaning of the word rule here translates to a referee or an umpire. Just think about that for a second. Your peace is the umpire making the final call on whether a situation is safe or completely out of bounds. So the main takeaway? If your internal referee is constantly blowing the whistle, signaling agitation or confusion every time a specific person enters the room, that is not just your imagination. That is God handing you critical real-time information about their spiritual atmosphere.
Section 2. Doubting and shrinking faith. Warning sign number 2. Someone sent to destroy your peace is going to systematically erode your certainty. You know how it goes. You'll get a clear word or direction from God, and almost immediately, this person introduces questions. Are you sure that's really God speaking to you? And what makes this so incredibly dangerous is how they dress up their doubt. They use the language of wisdom and balance to make you second-guess what God has already made so plain to you. They are essentially applying a steady, quiet pressure to make your faith shrink.
This builds right into warning sign number 3, which is honestly an absolutely fascinating dynamic to watch. You have to pay close attention to when these people show up and what kind of energy they bring with them. When you are facing a loss or a failure, suddenly they are incredibly present. They're animated, full of advice, totally engaged. But the very moment God moves on your behalf and a prayer is answered, they become distant, flat, noticeably uncomfortable. It's like their celebration of your win is just a performance.
And Proverbs 27:6 validates that exact gut intuition you're feeling right now. Deceitful are the kisses of an enemy. Our source material notes this tough reality. Some people will literally cheer for you with their words while they are quietly mourning your advancement in their hearts. When someone's most alive, energized moments in your relationship are consistently tied to your pain and your struggles, well, that's no coincidence. That is an active assignment against your elevation.
Warning sign number 4 is that they will try to make you conform to their comfort level. Galatians 1:10 reminds us, if I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. Genuine companions, the ones actually assigned to support your purpose, they are always going to push you toward greater surrender to God. A toxic presence, on the flip side, will pressure you into living a socially comfortable version of your faith. One that's less intense, a little less visible, and ultimately, one that costs you nothing and changes absolutely nothing.
Section 3. Betrayal and Spiritual Distance.
Now we arrive at warning sign number 6, weaponizing trust. This addresses a very specific, deeply painful kind of wound. Picture this. You open up to someone in a moment of true, genuine vulnerability. You share your fears, maybe some past struggles, and then, slowly, you start to realize it's being used against you. Maybe it's just a subtle, kind of condescending comment made in a group setting that directly references your private struggle. It's totally designed to make you feel exposed and unsafe. Proverbs 11:13 draws a hard line on this one. A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. A person sent by God is going to use what you share to pray for you and to protect you, but a person sent by the enemy, they'll use it to diminish you, to control you, or honestly just to keep you trapped in an old version of yourself. So the big takeaway here is absolutely vital. Just because someone has managed to earn your trust doesn't automatically mean they earned it legitimately.
And that brings us to warning sign number 7, which the text calls the most conclusive sign of all. You really have to ask yourself, does their presence pull you away from God? It happens so gradually, Believers often overlook it entirely. But when this person is heavily present and demanding a lot of your time and energy, trace the pattern. Does your prayer life start to suffer? Does your time in the Word decrease? Does that spiritual hunger you usually have just sort of go quiet?
James 4:8 offers this really beautiful promise. Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. But the source material asks us to consider the inverse of that promise. Whatever consistently pulls you away from God's nearness is literally pulling you away from your strength, your clarity, and your peace. If a relationship consistently produces separation from God as its primary fruit, well, that relationship has fully revealed its assignment.
Section 4. Guarding your inner world.
So, what do we actually do about this? Here is your action plan broken down into 3 super clear steps from the text. First, recognize the assignment. You have got to stop fighting the wrong battle. Second, set firm, prayerful boundaries. And third, remove them without apology. The text offers such a reassuring point here too. You do not need to make dramatic public announcements. You don't have to burn bridges in a fit of anger. You can quietly, with dignity and full authority, just protect your inner world.
I want to leave you with this incredibly powerful declaration from the text. My peace is a weapon, and I will protect it. Your peace is not just a personal comfort. It is literally the very environment in which God does His greatest work in you. You have to guard it relentlessly. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. As you look at your own inner circle today, I want to leave you pondering this one final question. Who is actively protecting your peace, and who has been quietly dismantling it?